Alright, we're going to do a presentation of the ceramics. It's going to be short, the basics. There's a lot to learn. I'm just going to condense it. So the types of pottery include wheel thrown, mosaic, and coil pots. Those are like the three main categories, so to speak. A lot of schools don't have funding for enough wheels to teach everybody. You might get a chance to throw. My school is very fortunate. We have like 5 in a small class, so I got to throw a lot. So I provided some examples of each one. And this is the one on the top right is the more common one that people recognize. But mosaics are pretty popular too. And then coil pots are hand built. You just roll them out into just kind of noodles of clay basically, and it's actually a lot harder than you think. I'm terrible at it. Oh no, that's slipping and scoring is actually how you add pieces of clay onto other pieces of clay. You like scratch marks into each part of the attachment and then put some like watery clay between it and it like acts as a cement. Like little bricks. The uses, there's functional and aesthetic. A piece can be both. But the top one is function and kind of aesthetic. It's a colander, which is like the nicest piece I drew in high school. You also have to keep in mind it is still glass and stone, so it may be great. I'm surprised I've kept it this long. Anyways, and then in the bottom, I have a little pot that doesn't really serve a whole lot of purpose. So for me, it's mostly just aesthetic. But when you get into like different glazes and different techniques, you can do a lot with it. Stages of clay. This is probably the most information there is over ceramics. Slip is when it's malleable, formable, and then just like wet clay, basically you put it on a wheel, you start working with it, and it's very malleable. Like if you poke it, it's gonna be forming. Leather hard is when it's beginning to dry. It's perfect for carving into and attaching other pieces of clay onto. And then bone dry is when it's completely dry. It's got no water left in it. It's pretty light at that point too, and it's unfired. They're very fragile. They chip. So this is all before they get fired, and then once it's been fired once, it's called bisque. Think of like terracotta pots. So we have 2 firing glazes, or 2 fires, which I'll talk about in a minute. But this is the first stage, and then glazed. Basically, they come in little tubs usually, or large containers if you know how to mix them. Glaze is composed of pigments, refractory like glass elements, stuff that changes in the kiln when it's being fired. So the point is that you fire it once, add a glaze to it, and then you fire it again, and it looks entirely different. So the reason it does that is because glaze's chemical composition changes under really high heat. That's why you have to fire it twice. Plus, if you just threw a pot into a kiln and put it at that high of heat without firing it once, it will just crack. So you have to do it in stages. And then the firing process. Once fired, twice fired. Those aren't really technical terms. It's just kind of how you know how many times it's been fired. Once it's been twice fired, it's complete. It's got glaze, which is, at that point, is turned into glass. So they are stone. Like the stone itself is more durable than just dry clay. But you have to know that the glaze turns into glass. It's got to be sharp, pretty. And then kilns, those are what we load it into. I have a picture demonstrated right there. There's different types of kilns based on the amount of heat they put out. The firing process takes a few days. Overall, the process of throwing items and getting them fired takes a few weeks on average. You have to stage out how long they dry so that they don't just crack. And then fire hazards. You have to be within safety regulations of wherever you live. A lot of ceramic schools, if they have their own kilns, will have them outside of city limits if that city prohibits shooting high heats, basically. So that covers that. Next, we're going to do a Kahoot to quiz you guys. This was a very short lesson, so just go for it, do your best. I got Gibby.
Yes, that's me.
You got it? Okay. You're going to get 20 seconds. And this is something that I would probably do for my ceramics intro class. I would probably space out this lesson over more of a hour lesson, so to kind of get the basics. Yeah. Just go for it. Think about whether it's been fired or not. I put some. I want to give you guys the option since it was a short lesson. All right. Royal Wamba is in the lead. I think the types of them are pretty easily recognizable if they're flat or not flat. But a lot of ceramists only go into like one or the other, or maybe 2 out of 3. It takes a lot of time to be proficient in all of them. Okay.
Yes.
They can be.
True.
Well, Wanda, you are still in the lead. Let's go. 4 out of 8. Think about carving.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now you got it. It's the reason it's so important to like emphasize that's the stage where you carve it is because once it's bone dry, you cannot add water. It's too late. It's gonna break. Gibby, you still have a chance. It's important. Can't do the process backwards, or I'm gonna get some exploding pots. I'm not kidding. Alright. Yes. Oh, did she take the lead?
I'm in first place.
Gibby. My teacher, he just like drilled it into our brains. If it gets a little too dry, you can still add water, but like, once it's gone, it's gone. We have to put them in tubs so that they dry slowly. Just like if you fire a pot at a really high temperature at once, it's going to crack. The same thing applies here. If you let it dry all at once, the clay just can't handle it. All right. Last question. Yes. The funnest part about glaze is that it's always a different color when it comes out. You put it on there and it's nothing like how it comes out. All right, and then Gibby. So overall, you guys kind of know about the different kinds of ceramics you can make: mosaics, quail pots, fulcrum. You know they can be functional, aesthetic, or both. And there you go. Thank you guys.